Hi, dear friends. Good evening to all of you. CSAT is always a matter of tension for many aspirants, for both maths background and non-maths background students. Yes, roughly 4 or 5 months left for the prelims examination 2023. Over the years, many students shared their experience of prelims. Many lost prelims just because of CSAT. We know that CSAT is a qualifying paper. 33% of marks only required. CSAT, which has quantitative aptitude, reasoning, and comprehension. Total 80 questions are there, and 67 marks only required to clear CSAT. Even though it is a qualifying paper, many aspirants are still struggling to increase the attempt of the questions, to reduce the negative marks, and to cross 67 out of 200. Now, what is the solution? Simply getting nervous or tensed is not a solution, or simply pondering over the difficulty of CSAT paper is not a solution. Yes, the first thing is you will have to identify what are actually your problems. Don't think what are the problems of the 10 lakhs of UPC aspirants with regard to CSAT. Think about yourself. You are Ram or Sita, you are Parker or Lakshman, or you are anybody. As an individual, aspirant, think about yourself. What is the biggest concern for you? Whether it is quantitative aptitude, whether it is reasoning, or whether it is comprehension. Please don't try to compare your problems with the problem of CSAT problem of other aspirants. Maybe for you comprehension is tough, that is not the case with the other aspirants. Maybe for somebody quantitative aptitude is easy, and for them CSAT comprehension is difficult. For somebody comprehension is tough, reasoning is easy. So it varies from person to person. So it is not a general issue, it is your individual issue. If you feel that your fundamentals are not strong in quantitative aptitude, your mathematics, arithmetics, your numeracy portions, your fundamentals are not strong, then don't waste your time. Learn from the basics of that numeracy, learn from the basics of that UPSC CSAT syllabus. Be strong with the basic concepts in quant or reasoning or comprehension. Then practice. The biggest, the only one thing which will give you an edge in the final exam over others, that is the practice. There is no shortcut to clear this CSAT. CSAT, be it mathematics or it is reasoning or it is comprehension, a proper grip of the area or topic plus the practice, that matters a lot. So don't worry, no tension is required. You can easily clear. If you couldn't clear, you can't clear. Who else will clear? That is the question. You are so passionate about this exam. You really wish to clear this exam. Then if you're ready to put that smart hard work, if you're ready to do that practice, of course I'm telling you that you will definitely clear this paper and CSAT will be a cakewalk for you. Today we are solving one passage. Land reforms is a broad term. It refers to an institutional measure directed towards altering the existing pattern of ownership, tenancy, and management of land. Thus, in a broad sense, you all please read with me. Thus, in a broad sense, land reform refers to an improvement in agroeconomic institutions. It includes measures and policies relating to redistribution of land, regulation of rent, improving the conditions of tenancy, cooperative organization, agricultural education, and so on. Now the question is in CSAT comprehension part, whether you must read the passage first or the questions that follow. Choice is yours. You can read the passage first, then you can go for the questions. Otherwise, you can read the questions first, then you can go for the passage. That is up to you. It is not a hardcore rule that you must follow this, you should not follow that, nothing is there. Because here, this passage, we are not going to write an answer, a critical analysis on what we understood from the passage. Here, our mission is very simple. By understanding what is given in the passage, we will answer the following questions. That's it. Different questions are there. Corollary questions are there, central idea questions are there, inference questions are there, assumption questions are there, opinion asking questions are there. You have to answer according to the keywords in the questions. Now here, I read the passage and I understood this is something which is related to land reforms. Now the question is, which of the following statements best reflect the corollary to the passage given above? Understanding the meaning of that keyword is very important here. Which of the following statements best reflect the corollary to the passage given above? Now corollary, what is corollary? What does it mean or imply? Corollary is something result. It is asking for the result of something. Something is discussed and what can be the immediate result? What is the outcome of something stated, something mentioned or discussed in the passage? It is not about the backgrounds, it is not about the causes. Okay, it is not about the characteristics. Corollary means it is asking about the results or outcome of something which is mentioned here. Simply understanding this, you can eliminate the choices very easily, even without understanding the the all words and the phrases, idioms used here. Simply understanding the meaning of the corollary, you can get to the answer. For example, a choice is there were huge disparities in land distribution prior to the reforms. There were huge disparities in land distribution prior to the reforms. So there were huge disparities in land distribution prior to the reforms. So disparities can be a cause of or cause for the land reforms. So it is talking about the causes. We want only the outcome what is discussed here. Okay, it is talking about the causes of land reforms. Now, lack of political will lead to failure of reforms, which talks about this failure, reasons for the failure of the land reforms. Then D option, independence gave a new impetus to land reforms. That also talks about one of the reasons for land reforms. So A, C, D is straight away eliminated. Bombay, land reforms can improve agricultural productivity, land regulations, and cooperative farming. So, if the corollary is the demand, if we are asked to pick the outcome of what is discussed there, then the outcome can be land reforms can improve agricultural productivity, land regulations, and cooperative farming. Okay, that is the only option which suits the demand of the question according to what is discussed in the passage. So, my answer is Bombay. Now, which one of the so corollary? If corollary is asked, don't go for the causes of the event. Don't go for that particular its plus or minus or its characteristics. If corollary is asked, you go for the outcome. You go for the result of what is discussed. Now, which one of the following best to reflect the central message of the passage? What reflect the central message of the passage? The scope of land reforms need to be narrowed to enhance its outcomes. It's not about narrowing down, it's about broadening the scope. So that is something very contradictory to what is discussed in the passage. Alteration of existing pattern of ownership lead to increase in litigations. See, this is something not discussed in the passage. That is also a problem with many aspirants. Don't apply your outside knowledge, your GS knowledge into passage. Please try to pick the answer from whatever is discussed in the passage. Okay, don't think beyond the passage. Whatever is discussed, limit your thinking to that particular border only. Okay, so here regarding these increased litigations not discussed here. Now, land reforms are a slew of multi-pronged measures that improve land productivity and ownership rights. institutional support for land reforms is generated through cooperative farming. See, I am confused, but I am going for D. D is institutional support for land reforms is generated through cooperative farming. That is also that institutional support is not discussed in the passage. So, because of the reason, see, A is just contradictory to what is discussed in the passage, and choice B is not discussed in the passage. Choice D is also not discussed in the passage. That way, I eliminated A, B, and D, and here the remaining choice is, that is C. So this is something which you have to follow in comprehension. Yes, as it is said, you read the passage only to answer. It is not to do PhD. It is not to like gain knowledge or enlightenment. It is only to answer the questions that the passage follow. That must be in the mind. Second thing is always go for elimination. Your answer should not be like that, or yes, out of the four choices, all of a sudden you pick the right one. That will not work out. Most cases, you will end up with the wrong choices. So eliminate one by one. Using your logic, you eliminate one by one, then come up with the finest answer. Okay. Then focus on the keywords given in the passage, given in the questions. Then always try to understand the crux of the passage, central idea of the passage. Then you stick on to your basic instinct. If you go for overthinking on that particular topic, and if you go for applying your outside knowledge, your GS knowledge into that particular paragraph, again you end up with the wrong choices. So stick on to your basic instinct. And again, this reading comprehension, let me tell you, yes, this reading comprehension, quantitative aptitude, reasoning, give equal weightage to all the three broader portions of your CSAT. These are the things which I would like to share today with you. If you liked, you can subscribe, you can share with your friends, and you leave your valuable comments in the comment box. If you wish, we should continue this series. Okay, that's it. All the best. Don't be so worried and confused about this, uh, you know, days left for the exam. Instead, you just sit, you just revise, learn the concepts, revise them very well, practice them, and your target has to be like this. Before the prelims 2023, you set a target like you hit minimum, you practice minimum 10,000 questions, including the UPC previous year's questions. Okay, you will definitely get an edge over others in the final exam. So practice matters a lot. Revisions, multiple rounds of revisions matters a lot, and practice matters a lot. Wishing all the best to you all, guys. Stay tuned. Thank you.